everyone, welcome to my channel. I am so excited. I'm finally, posting a video up. I've been wanting to do this for the longest time and I haven't done it. So I'm really excited. I'm gonna go ahead and introduce myself. My name is Danny and just a little bit of my life. I'm a mom of two little ones. I have a 4-year-old son. His name is Ethan, and I have a 4-month-old daughter. Her name is Amelia, and I've been married to my husband for 4 years with him, but we've been together for 7 years. And basically I can definitely make a video on how we met and our love story, but we've been together for a really long time. I am 24 years old, so I'm a young mama. So yeah, that's pretty much it. If you guys have any questions about anything, just comment down below, let me know, and I'll be more than happy to answer them. So for today's video, I'm actually going to share with you guys my labor and delivery story with my second child. Like I said, she's 4 months old, so it's been 4 months since I've had her, and I'll just say this, as you can read on the title, it was definitely a crazy labor story. But I will say we're both fine, everything was fine, and we're both very healthy and we're good. So I think that's the most important part. I actually wrote down a lot in my notes because a lot happened and I really didn't want to miss any, details or anything like that. So my daughter was born May 21st of 2017, so this year. And I will say, I'm going to go ahead and start from May 19th and kind of let you guys know what was going on leading up to the day I had her. Okay, so on May 19th, I actually had an OB appointment, and I was at this point 37 weeks and a few days. So like 37 weeks and like 2 days or a day. I quickly, let me give you guys a quick idea of how this pregnancy was for me. I was miserable. I did not want to be pregnant. I was done with being pregnant. I felt like I was like 45 weeks pregnant. I was definitely not happy. I was huge. I was swollen. I was in so much pain. I remember I couldn't even get out of bed without my husband helping me because I was just in so much pelvic pain and muscle pain. My bones were hurting. Quick disclaimer here, this is going to be a lot of TMI. I mean, it is a labor and delivery story, and I want to get into detail as much as I can. I completely understand if you're not into that type of videos. I am, but if you're not, I suggest you just click out of here because I'm definitely going to be talking about mucus and bodily fluids and all that good stuff that comes with a labor and a delivery. So that was my little warning to you. I was literally peeing my pants all the time. I couldn't sneeze, I couldn't laugh, I couldn't cough because I would pee my pants. And if you have been pregnant before, you know this is a thing. This really happens. And I was miserable. And compared to my first labor and delivery with my first child, it was day and night. I was just, again, miserable. I will say the word miserable like a billion times because I cannot emphasize so much how miserable I was. I was miserable. Okay, so on May 19th, I was wobbling into my OB's office, and she went ahead and she checked me, and she said I was 1.5 centimeters dilated and that I was about 80% effaced. So she said basically any day now, just take it easy. And real quick, if you guys hear, sorry, I keep just just going everywhere. If you hear noise, it's because I have my daughter right next to me and she is playing in her little play set here. So if you hear noise, that is what it is. So yeah. She told me that I was 80% effaced and 1.5 centimeters dilated. But she said, well, when she, they insert your finger to check your cervix and stuff. When she took her finger out, she had a big chunk of discharge, which I think now looking back, it was some of my mucus plug. And I remember she just had it over her finger and she's doesn't care because I'm sure she does this every day. But I was like, ooh, girl, watch those fingers. I'm kidding. She had gloves on. But, hey guys, so my camera actually died on me. So it's been a few hours because I had to put it, I had to charge it. So that's why I don't look like I looked in the last clip. It's been a few hours. So I want to go ahead and finish up my video. I don't really remember where I was at, but I know I said that I was at the part where my doctor checked me and I was 1.5 centimeters dilated and 80% effaced. I think that's where I was. And this was on May 19th. So following that, it was Friday May 19th, and I think that day I went out to dinner with my husband and still enjoying our family of 3 because I knew inside of me, like there was like my gut feeling was telling me that I was going to go into labor soon. I just didn't know when. So following the next day, the 20th, again, I was very just not happy, miserable. I was very uncomfortable. Again, guys, if you hear noise, that's my son. He's in his room playing, so he's just having a blast. So, May 20th came and I told my husband, I want to get this baby out of me. Like, I was about 37 weeks and 4 days, or I'll tell you right now. So I was 37 weeks and 3 days. And so I basically wanted this baby out of me. I was done with being pregnant and I was going to try to get the baby, like to get things moving. So I went ahead and I started walking. We walked all day that day. We came home and played like this dance game on our PlayStation. I think it's like, I don't know what it's called, but it's like a dance game, and we played that. And I was determined to get this baby out of me. But I had no kind of liquid coming out of me, no contractions by the time I went to bed. I didn't really have much discharge or anything like that. So I didn't see any signs of labor. And I went to sleep on May 20th at 11 p.m. exactly, because I was exhausted. And I woke up May 21st at 2:20ish a.m. with contractions. Now my contractions were pretty smooth, like they weren't like unbearable. I could breathe through them, talk through them, but they were definitely about 2 to 5 minutes apart. And I started to just time them, and they were just normal contractions. My belly would get really hard, and they definitely did hurt, but it was more like a period cramp, really strong period cramp. But my water didn't break. I had no fluid. I just did not think I was in labor at this time. I thought maybe this was just my body getting ready for labor, but I really don't want to waste a trip to my doctor, to the hospital, and then just send me back home and me just waste an entire day. I did call the on-call nurse, and she told me, well, if you feel like it's not unbearable and you can breathe through them, then it may just be just early signs of labor. So I would just take a bath, go back to sleep, and see how you feel in the morning. So I did just that. I took a bath, and I think the bath really helped, just like it helped with the pain, so I couldn't really feel as much pain as maybe I was really in. And at about 3 a.m. I went to sleep. My husband was ready. I had him get dressed just in case. We had our bags packed. And just a quick, just telling you guys, my son was supposed to stay at my dad's house because my mom, I wanted her there for the delivery. So we would still have to drive him to my dad's house to then leave to the hospital. So this was our plan. Guys, at around 4 a.m. So I went to sleep at 3 a.m. I fell asleep. I was knocked out. And I woke up at 4 a.m. screaming with the most unbearable pain, contraction. I was in the most pain I've ever been in my life. And I was screaming. So my husband jumped out of bed. He grabs our 4-year-old, put him in the car, put our stuff in the trunk, and he said, let's go, move it. And so I was very just not really understanding what was going on. And I would scream and moan out of pain. And then after that contraction was done, I would be like, oh wow, we have to clean the kitchen counters. We need to do our bed. We need to fix the house a little. But then I would have a contraction and scream like a crazy lady. I just did not understand what was happening. Again, my water had not broken. There was no kind of fluid or blood, nothing coming out of me. And I did not understand what was happening. Like, why am I having these terrible contractions, but there's no signs of, like, I guess what I would assume at the time was a signs of labor or like a baby coming out. Because like I said, with my first, it was just very different. And I kind of expected the same thing, which now I know every labor and delivery is very different. So at about 4 a.m. or 4, it's just like, it's really hard to remember, but it's like I had her at 5:32 a.m. So I would say like around 4:40ish or so, we got into the car and we left. My dad lives like 10 minutes away from me, so we were still going to try leaving Ethan, which we should have probably not have tried, but my hospital is a good 40 minutes away, so we would have never made it on time, regardless if we would have dropped Ethan off or not. So we get to my dad's house, we drop him off. I am literally screaming. I was in so much pain, and then suddenly I just feel pressure. I feel the urge to push, and I felt like I had a big poop. Like I had to go and hands, literally the worst poop of my life. And I don't know what it was, but I decided to like just take my sweatpants off, and her head is coming out. Like I couldn't see because it was still very dark out, but I see something coming out of me, and it was like this big coming out. And I told my husband, pull over, and he just so happened to pull over at the mall parking lot that was right next to the highway. So my dad's mall parking lot, because he lives right by the mall. And I said, call 911. And so my husband went ahead and called 911, and at this point I was like panicking in pain, and the operator had a billion questions that she felt the need to ask, which I'm sure they're just doing their job, but I couldn't believe she was asking me this. She was asking me, you know, basic questions like my name, my birthday, how far along I was. So I felt like it was so many questions, and she said she was gonna go ahead and send the ambulance to come and to just stay where we were, just to stay put. So we did just that. But she did tell my husband that if the ambulance did not make it in time, and if I was really about to have this baby, that there was a small chance that he would have to deliver the baby in the car. And that freaked out my husband a little bit, I won't lie, it freaked me out. So my husband went ahead and he laid my seat back, and he just like checked me, but we had really bad lighting in our car. We just had like a little light on, and he went ahead and checked me. He didn't really know what he was looking at. So he was very nervous. I was very nervous, and again, I was in a lot of pain. At this point, we saw the ambulance coming. They did not take long at all. It was like 2-3 minutes. It was very quickly. The ambulance came and the firemen came, and they took control, which I want to take the time and just thank all of the EMTs and paramedics out there. You guys are honestly amazing, and I just praise you for all the work you do. You were my heroes that day, and you're still my heroes. You guys delivered my baby, and I am so forever grateful. If you are a paramedic, you are doing an amazing thing, and I don't know how you do it, but it's amazing, and I just want to thank you for everything you do. But again, it was really dark outside, and when the paramedic came to check on me, he looked and he felt what was coming out, and I guess he felt that it was like really soft. Remember, my water never broke, so he felt like kind of a soft, not like a hard head coming out. And so he said, oh no, I think that's your placenta. And when he said that, I completely lost it. I mean, I transformed into a crazy lady. I was crying, I was screaming, I was having a panic attack. I don't think I was really helping much of the situation. I was just making everything harder, I think. With the pain and everything, I was not being in a hospital, I just did not know how to act. And I mean, if you're a mother, you know, we live and breathe our children. So when he said that to me, and I thought, oh my gosh, there's no doctor here. My placenta's coming out first. My baby's going to die. I thought my baby was going to die. And I freaked out, and I guess I let my emotions. There were like 6 firemen and then the 2 paramedics, and they were able to transfer me into some stretchers because I'm a big girl and I'm sure I was not lightweight. So they were able to get me into stretchers and into the ambulance. Thankfully, he was able, when you get into the ambulance, the lights are like white and they're like really bright, so he could see everything. And he said to me, oh no, I'm sorry, I meant to say that that's not your placenta coming out, that's your baby inside her sac. That's why your water never broke. Your baby's being born inside of her water. And I was like, how is that even possible? Because with my first, I had a very typical birth, my water broke, all of that. And if you guys are interested, I can go ahead and film a labor and delivery story for my first. So if you would like that, just let me know in the comments. But yeah, it was crazy. So he said, we're gonna try getting you to the hospital, and he told my husband to just follow us. When my husband left, no lie, 2 minutes later, I said, I can't hold it in, I have to push. I need to push this baby out right now. And my body was just pushing, I couldn't control it. I felt like I had to poop so badly. And he said, okay, fine, push. He just said push. Just like that, he said push. And I said, no, I need my husband to be here with me. I need him here with me. And he sent the other paramedic to go get my husband. My husband got out of the car, came back into the ambulance, and he said, listen, we're gonna deliver this baby here. We can't wait. And I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys some pictures right now. And in 2 or 3 pushes, at 5:32 a.m., Amelia was born. He did go ahead and take a scalpel and break my water real quick, and she was born. It was definitely a very exciting time. I was just crying out of joy, thanking God for the blessing he just gave me. My husband was crying. We were very emotional and happy. They put her right on my chest immediately. She was perfect. And as you guys can see in the pictures, these were just moments, literally seconds after she was. I just couldn't believe how beautiful she was, and I was just so happy in that moment. My fear just became happiness. It was just crazy how everything just changed all of a sudden. Just seeing that she was okay, and she opened her eyes, and she was breathing, and she was crying, really just put me at ease and just made me feel like, okay, we're good, we're fine. And my recovery was amazing after that. I mean, the experience was a little bit traumatic and crazy, but I was able to make it home the next day, and my recovery was really good. I had 0 tears. I did not tear at all. So I'm really happy about that. And I will show you guys Amelia. Here she is. She is a pretty big girl. She was born weighing 6 pounds and 15 ounces. But she's now about 14 pounds. And she is everything we've ever wanted. So yeah. Say hi. Say hi, YouTube. Hi friends. Say hi, friends. Say hi, friends. You gonna smile? Say hi. No. No. Look. Friends. Alright guys, well thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Make sure, if you guys would like to, of course, to subscribe, like this video, and comment below asking me any questions. I would be more than happy to answer them. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video.